Hey, I'm Kev Kier, Mr. Coleman, some more coverage from Season 3 of Formula Xbox. And Tier 1 visited the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace in Sao Paulo, Brazil for round 20 and the Season 3 finale. And we are going out for our final qualifying attempt of the year, and it's going to be our final race in the Ferrari, as I was too late claiming it for Season 4, unfortunately. But we are on the prime tyres and we're looking to stick in a great qualifying lap to end the year. Now, I believe we did do our best qualifying lap of the season. I locked up in a few places, but the pace was there for once. I was less than a second behind the pole sitter. Spoiler alert, it was RSTM in that 109 region. What a beast he is. And I expected to be up the order a bit more, than usual because of that. Unfortunately, Sao Paulo just compresses the field a bit. I think it was 1.2 seconds separating the top 10. And, 1.2 seconds sometimes separated RSM from the rest of the field at a few circuits. So that's how close it is around this circuit. One of the best on the F1 calendar, one of the best in the game. You can overtake at virtually every corner. You can run two wide at virtually every corner. It just provides brilliant racing in Sao Paulo. And I really do hope the F1 circuit continues going there in real life for years to come, because it is such a great circuit. As you saw, we locked up in the San Andreas, as I said, a bit scruffy, and on the prime tyres I never had kind of confidence in the braking. I was always locking up, particularly in the race, as you saw. I was just locking up all the time. I don't know what it is about the prime tyres in this game. I just have no confidence on them, and I was much better on the options in the second half of the race, and I put in one of my best stints of the season, I believe, on the options in the second half of this race. But before we get into the race and before this qualifying lap ends, I'd just like to thank everyone, belatedly, a couple of months late, for taking part in Season 3, putting up with my crap in the first half of the year. I was a pretty dreadful driver. I got involved in incidents I shouldn't have, and then I got better at kind of like Spa and Mons, at the traditional strong tracks for me there. And, towards the end of the year, renewed my rivalry with our Overlord, Drastic Midget, as he now likes to be called, Overlord. And so he's our host. He's put up with our crap, put up with Codemasters crap for Season 3, and he's doing it for Season 4 as well, and he's doing another fine job as well, so thanks to him as well. But yeah, that's our qualifying lap, our final qualifying lap of Season 3, and we were 8th on the grid with Hamilton fan in front of us and just a minute just behind us. Look at that, RSTM 3/10 on pole, only going to 109s ahead of the Williams pair of Legion and Case of Legend, and Jonesy right up there in the Mercedes. Great to see for him, with Jay Lang rounding out the top 5. As I said, Drastic Midget once again behind me. We're kind of attached at the hip in this last part of the season after not really being close to each other in the first half of the year. But with the lights are up here and going out for the final time in Season 3 as we are looking down the inside of Hamilton fan. But he gets a squirming start away, or great start away. I get a squirming start away. But we're on the inside into San Andreas. I don't like being there because you get kind of crowded out, and then there are incidents such as Hamilton fan kind of messing up the second part of that San Andreas, and unfortunately taking out random beats in the Sauber. And look at that, Arte took advantage of that, just blasted past in his Caterham. He's a reserve driver, remember, so doesn't score points for this race. But we're looking down the inside of Drastic Midget, but as I said, you can run two wide everywhere, and he is just proven on the outside. He's got the drive, and he's keeping ahead of us into the double right, and he's kind of messed up the middle part. We're going to take a look down his outside and then brake on the curb and the grass, unfortunately. So we're going wide in this right-hander. And so we've got Kells. We've got to look out for the Sauber behind us, and we rejoin right in front of him. And, I felt it was a bit unfair, so I kind of let him through down the inside because, he probably had that brake. I was just being inconsiderate there, rejoining just in front of him. So, yeah, let him through. And now we're in a Sauber sandwich because, unfortunately, random beats in the Sauber at the back after that first corner incident. But as you can see, we're right in the back of Kells, got more straight line speed than him down the straight. And taking a bit of a look in the San Andreas, but look at my lack of confidence on the brakes, as I said. On these prime tyres, just no confidence at all, unfortunately, in this first stint of the race. And so we have to stick behind Kells. But going into the double right-hander, he goes a bit wide in the first part, carrying too much speed. So we can now take a look down his inside into the right, and look how much space Kells gave us. Too considerate, I believe, there, but he's generously lets us through there, and so we're up to 10th spot, and we got just a midget in front as we go on to lap 5, and he was fighting hard with Hamilton fan in front. As you can see, we're locking up into the center. As I said, no confidence on the brakes at all. And once I got more confident, I was just locking up more, as you will see in the next few laps, unfortunately. But as I said, midfield, you know, from second downwards, you're behind RS10. Brilliant battling. As you can see, we're catching up to Hamilton fan now, and then we lock up into that right-hander and just losing time. And so the gap to the guys in front was always around 2 seconds, because I was catching, then locked up, catching, then locked up, catching and locked up, and went wide onto the grass, onto the straight. And so, you know, it was always costing me time this first stint. I really should have pitted around lap 7 or 8. Should have pitted early, because the option tyres don't really go off around here for me. And so, you know, I should have taken advantage of the undercut there and go on the options well. A bit more confident on the brakes. So again, I lock up and go into the alternate route through the centre S's, and we are still that couple second gap to Midget and Hamilton fan, who are fighting hard. They're going to town on each other. It was incredible, the fighting in the first stint, at least for the other guys. You know, not so much for us. But as you can see, going into that right-hander, locked up again, and then going into Giancarlo. You know, we've got Casey Legend behind us on lap 8, and he has just pitted from the options onto the prime tyres, and so he's much faster than us, and that lockup just gave him a gap, and now he is through in the Williams. But he's battling Legion, his Williams teammate, for a podium, and Jay Lang as well in the McLaren, and so they are in the pits, Legion and Jay Lang, and now they're coming out, and Arte's in the pits as well, in the Caterham as well, and he wasn't far behind either. And so now we've got Casey Legend and Legion on the left leaving the pits, and they are going to be side by side. There are going to be no team orders here at Williams, as you can see, going into the double left-hander, and Casey Legend's got the tyre temp, he's got the speed, and he's got Legion round the outside, but he's gone wide. Oh, he's made a Horlicks off the exit, and now Legion almost bumping wheels into the double right-handers. Now got the outside, got the speed, and hasn't got the temperature yet, but he's got the position maybe. Oh, he's keeping it on the inside, and now we are letting Jay Lang through in the McLaren. You can fight with the Williams pair. We've got the popcorn here. We are just enjoying this fight as we're trying to just keep this car on the road, as you've seen from the last few laps. And then we've got Arte behind us as well on fresher tyres, hoping to join this party as well. But going into Giancarlo, I apologise, Portuguese speakers, for my pronunciation. But then no, Casey Legend and Jay Lang have an incident. Oh, and the McLaren is round, unfortunately, and now that allows Arte up a position. I think that allows Legion in front, maybe, of Casey Legend. They were side by side going up the front straight. But now we have pitted a couple of laps late, as I think now, looking back. But we were pushing hard out of the pit exit, because we got Kells alongside us, who's got the undercut on the prime tyres, and he's looking on our outside into the double left-hander. But we have got the line, and we have got the confidence on these option tyres now. We can go fast. We're getting it up to rich fuel mix, aren't we? There we go, rich fuel mix. We are pushing hard on this last stint. And I said this last stint was equivalent to the guys such as Legion and Casey Legend who finished on the podium, but we're kind of battling hard as well. You know, I didn't have many battles in this second half of the race, only with Drastic Midget here on lap 15, as he just had no pace down the straights. I still don't understand this one. Maybe it's just a setup, but as you can see, I had DRS as well, so just flew by up into ninth spot behind Hamilton fan. But yeah, that is my Brazilian Grand Prix, a very up and down race. Down in the first part, up in the second, just like my season as well. But as I said, thank you to everyone in season 3 once again, and I'm going to leave you with the final lap of season 3 for me. So sign out for watching, so till next time, cheerio.
Nice drive. You took 4 points. Congratulations. Well done.